Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hellacious Hero Returns. I'm Batman, and today's episode is gonna be about me. Yeah. But really, today is about Joe's birthday, September 17th, 1986. He'll be 34 today. Yeah, 34 years of age, yeah. 34 years a Batman fan. Yeah. So where is he? Is what you're probably asking. Where's Joe? Hellacious Hero Joe. He'll be with you in a second. 1 minute. Let me go get him for you.
Hey, thanks, B-Man. Appreciate it. Hey, guys, as, you know, I'm sure Batman told you that, this is the Hellacious Hero Returns, and I am Hellacious Hero Joe. And today is my 34th birthday. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but, I'm a 34-year-old man now. But today in particular is going to be about Batman. And, I was fortunate enough to get a lot of really cool gifts for my birthday. Two in particular that I really want to share with you guys because they're just amazing to me. And they're from my kid brother, my only brother, actually, my younger brother, Matt. Matt, if you're watching, man, I love you, dude. I appreciate it so much. It means the world to me. The first thing I want to show you guys is a couple-minute video from Kevin Conroy. My brother got Kevin Conroy, the guy who voiced Batman in my youth in the animated series and several, animated movies and video games down the road, the Arkham games and all that amazing stuff, Mask of the Phantasm, Batman Sub-Zero, all those crazy movies, amazing movies, Kevin Conroy. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this, and let me know what you think.
Happy birthday, Joe. Matthew wanted me to send you this shout out, so this is just for you. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. And remember, Joe, it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you. Okay, now this is Kevin. Happy birthday, Joe. You know, the fun thing about doing this role for so long has been this interaction that I get to have with the audience. The Batman fans are amazing. They're so passionate about the character. They're so devoted to him. And I have a theory why. I think it's because of all the superheroes, he's the only one who's not a superhero. He doesn't have any superpowers. He can't fly. He can't see through walls. He's a man. He only has his body and his mind to serve him on his missions. He's like us. He's really more of a detective. They call him the Great Detective. But his mission is what's so extraordinary. It's to rid the world of evil, to leave it a better place, to give to his community. It's such a noble mission. That's what people love about him. And they also love his tenacity. He never, ever, ever gives up. It's like he can't give up. And Joe, those are qualities we can all aspire to because you don't have to be a superhero to want to give to your family, your friends, to leave a better place, the world. You don't have to be a superhero to be tenacious in your goals in life. All you have to do is care. All you have to do is want to try. Because the world needs it now more than ever. There is so much going on between the coronavirus and the lockdown and people losing their jobs and their health. And then the upheaval in our streets, hundreds of thousands of people screaming to be heard, to be seen, to be respected. People need each other. We've got to be there for each other because life is hard. It's hard on everybody. It's a rough road. And everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has stumbles. Everyone has disappointments in life. I mean, it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful road, but it's hard. And it's challenging. So the one thing I found that gets me through rough times is the love of my family and my friends, the loyalty of friends who have my back. And Friendships like that are priceless. And that's what life is all about. And it's wonderful that you have a brother like Matthew who wants to celebrate you this way, who loves you so much. You know, that kind of loyalty from a brother, that doesn't happen by accident. That is a result of your love and your giving to him. So you should be applauded today. So have a wonderful birthday, Joe. It's great that you have a brother like Matthew in your life. And remember, Batman has always got your back. Take care.
Yeah, so pretty awesome with that whole video, right? Like, he sent it to me, and I was like, oh my god, Kevin Conroy, this is absolutely phenomenal. And then to top it off, he sends me that video on my way home from work, and I watch it, and I'm like, man, that was an amazing gift. Nothing can beat that, right? He sends me this, and it's a framed copy of the 500th issue of Batman, which is from a Nightfall story arc. This is the variant cover of that comic, and it's signed, so you guys can see here. Doug Mensch signed it on the bottom, Terry Austin signed it up top, and Jim Aparo signed it over here. It came with a certificate of authenticity that's numbered to a certain specific amount, and I love this cover so much. This in particular comic is the first appearance of the Asbat suit, the blue one, that John Paul Valley wears in the Nightfall story arc. And if you guys have watched some of my previous videos where I talk about Batman and my love for the character, and I show, you know, I have a cow of the Asbat suit, it's a DC collectible. That was the first Batman comic book that I ever read, was Nightfall, and then obviously in the Night Quest, and then Night's End, those series with these writers. And I mean, absolutely phenomenal. This thing is just, I mean, it's a beautiful piece. I'm so thankful to finally have it. Thanks to my brother Matt for this, man. I love you, dude. This is amazing. You're amazing. Such an awesome guy. Thankful to call him my brother. So this means the world to me, man. Thank you so much. But in addition to this piece that's mind-blowing and the Kevin Conroy video you guys watched, I want to shed some light on some recent some Batman reads, because Batman Day is coming up. Today is September 17th, my birthday. Batman Day this year for 2020 is going to be on September 21st, so in a couple days, Batman Day is coming up. There's a lot of new Batman stories released in hardcover that have come out. You know, Frank Miller's, I think, Golden Child came out. White Knight Part 2, the Sean Murphy one, I think it's called Curse of the White Knight, is coming out. So a lot of really cool stories about Batman are being released this month in September. I know Batman Day is on the 21st, but September's kind of like Batman month, I feel, which is awesome. So that's why I kind of wanted to make this video and share this stuff with you guys. But there's 3 recent reads for Batman that I've checked out. They're all great. They're all fantastic. Please check them out. I'm going to give you guys a little synopsis about what they're about without diving in too deep. And then, as I always do in my videos, I'm going to show you guys some variants in the back, because the art in these books are absolutely amazing. And I'm saving my favorite of these 3 for last, and you'll understand why. I'll explain it to you. But the first is Batman vs. Deathstroke. This is a really cool read if you guys like Deathstroke and you guys like Batman. Damian Wayne, Batman's son, who becomes Robin, and is kind of like sadistic at first, and has that kind of like, you know, assassin mentality from the League of Shadows and all that stuff. And it's pretty much like, when he wants to defeat an opponent, he kills them instead of, you know, like Batman says, I don't kill. You know, it's kind of like the opposite mentality. It's more like Deathstroke. And that's what's cool about this story, because what happens is, Batman in the story receives a DNA sample that says, technically, Damian is not his son. So guess who they're assuming the father is if it's not Batman? Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a hell of a story. The fights in here are really, really cool. Deathstroke's one of my favorite DC villains, one of my favorite enemies of Batman. So I want to show you guys some variants. Please check it out if that sounds cool to you. You know, the whole story of him trying to figure out if Deathstroke is really his father and trying to unsolve this mystery with Damian and stuff. There's a couple cool characters who appear in this. Martian Manhunter's in it for a little bit. Red Hood's in it for a little bit. Robin, Damian Wayne version, and Nightwing are in it. So it's a really cool. Let's go check out the variants. Variant cover gallery over here. See Deathstroke and then Batman on top. Pretty cool. Cleaning off the bloody blade there. This one's awesome. I really like this one because it's kind of like it's showing Damian kind of like his Deathstroke, sort of. Like he looks like Deathstroke with the half the face that's painted orange there. Awesome variant cover. This one too is so cool. And that pretty much sums it up with the variants for Batman vs. Deathstroke. Really cool story by Christopher Priest and some others. A lot of people involved in the inking, penciling, and drawing on this one. If you guys like the art in the bag, if you like that whole concept of Batman trying to figure out if he really is Damian's father and it's not Slade, definitely check it out. It's really awesome. Really awesome. I really enjoyed it. Fun read. And I know I'm biased because I love Batman and I love these two characters, but if you're a Batman fan, I recommend it. Next on the list to check out, recent reads starring Batman that I've been into. First one was Batman vs. Deathstroke. This one's called Batman Universe. And this is written by Brian Michael Bendis. Michael Bendis was on a lot of stuff in Marvel, and then he came over to DC a few years ago. His writing wasn't very, very strong initially. He did some Superman stuff that I really didn't care for. Then again, I'm not really a big Superman fan, so that could play into the reason why. But I want to say that this story in particular, Batman Universe, is really refreshing. I think he kind of gets a pretty good foundation here with this story. It's not as mature and violent, you know, in the vein of like most Batman stories that I like to read, like Dark Knight's Metal, the Noel stuff, Batman Damned, even Batman vs. Deathstroke. You know, there's gore in there, there's blood. This is more of a toned down kind of Batman story, but in a good way. I mean, there's a lot of adventure in here. It's a thrill ride from beginning to end. A lot of crazy stuff happens. The two main antagonists in this are Riddler and Vandal Savage, and the stuff that happens in here is really, really cool. As you can see in the picture here, in the cover, Batman's holding this kind of like egg in his hand up here. You see that? It's in a museum and the Riddler steals it, and allegedly it has the potential to destroy the universe. But Batman later finds out that the egg that the Riddler stole was actually causing the Riddler to like have these visions and crazy things in his head that were actually implanted in there by Vandal Savage. So Batman goes through a bunch of different universes, a bunch of different planets, a bunch of different terrain, you know, past, present, future, with Vandal Savage traveling through time to kind of figure out the mysteries of the egg, and why Vandal Savage wants it so bad. So it's a really cool read. Some of the variants in here, which I'm going to show you guys, are awesome. When I get to the one that I love the most, I'll tell you, because it's so cool to see it. You'll see what I'm talking about when I get there. So let's dive into the variants. This pic here with the moon in the background is pretty much just setting up the variant cover gallery, but I like the pic a lot. It's really cool. Super, super cool. I think Nick Darrington did most of the art on this, or all of it. His drawing and critique really reminds me of Frank Miller a lot. The way he draws Batman. Little Green Arrow action over there. Batman trying to defeat all these imposters over here. All these imposter Riddlers to actually find the real Riddler and get the egg. Pretty neat. And that's the cover of the book. Who doesn't love Batman with some dinosaurs, right? That's a really cool piece of art there. I mean, it's beautiful. Darrington does a really good job with his art in this book. Over here, that's Jonah Hex, Batman and Green Lantern. Really cool. That looks sort of like a power ring there, doesn't it? Wonder what could happen with that. Guess we'll see. Nightwing and Batman fighting off some assassins. Really neat art with Batman and Grodd. He goes to a bunch of different places in this, hence Batman Universe, the title. He goes to Gorilla Grodd's homeland, encounters a bunch of different gorillas there. You know, with the dinosaur pictures and the gorilla pictures, it kind of gave off the vibe of, Jurassic Park and Planet of the Apes, with Batman in it. Which is cool to me because I'm a huge fan of those movies and those franchises, and to see Batman involved in it was pretty cool. And over here, this glider he has, kind of like his cape is a glider now. That's just a really cool pick. I love that style. I like that suit a lot. It's neat. The art is really pretty, I love the Green Lantern ring shining, just like lighting up. This one over here where there's a T-Rex in the background. And then one over here with Jonah Hex and Green Lantern and the sunset in the west is pretty cool. Some more Nightwing and Batman fighting off, assassins in the League of Shadows. Because all these parties start kind of gathering together to try to get this egg, because they realize its power and its potential. It's pretty neat. It's a really cool pick. I like that a lot. Not my favorite yet, though. We're almost there. There it is. My favorite picture in the variant cover gallery. Batman as a White Lantern. The Ring chooses him to defeat Vandal Savage, who actually has the ring for a while. There's a really cool scene in the book where Batman goes inside the ring to challenge Vandal Savage. And then he emerges victorious at the end and gets the white ring. Definitely check it out. I love the, when Batman becomes a lantern, whether it's green, yellow, or white, or whatever color, It's just so cool tying characters' universes together. And Batman's my favorite, so anything that involves him for the most part, I'm all for it. Love that so much. So cool. And there's the last picture of the variant cover gallery, and that's Batman finally defeating Vandal Savage and gaining the white ring. So yeah, definitely give us a shot. I know Bendis has been criticized in the past for his recent writing efforts, but this one here is an exception. It's actually a really fun read. I had a good time reading it a lot. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then again, I'm into the whole time travel component and all that stuff too, so definitely check it out. A lot of characters in this one. I think Carter Hall's in it briefly. Like I said, Jonah Hex is in it. Gorilla Grodd's in it. Just a ton of characters from the DC universe in here. Definitely check it out. And that goes for villains and heroes alike. Awesome read. And last but not least, Batman Kings of Fear. Why did I save this one for last? Because I said I would say it earlier. Why I picked this last to showcase? Kelly Jones is the reason why. Kelly Jones drew a lot of my favorite Batman images as a kid. Like the Batman vampire stuff. I was a huge fan of that. The Crimson Mist storyline and all that stuff. And his art, I'm going to show you guys the art here in a second. It really harkens back to the 1990s Batman. The Batman I grew up with, the stuff that was in Nightfall, because Kelly Jones did a lot of the art for the Nightfall story arc. Making Batman look really menacing and big and bulky and buff and kind of scary, really. But I love it. And this story is amazing. It's a 6-issue miniseries, as was the the Batman universe. That's also a 6-issue miniseries. Scott Peterson and his storytelling in this is awesome. What a great team with Kelly Jones and the art. I mean, it's, like I said, it takes me back to the 1990s reading these stories as a kid. And Kings of Fear, obviously the main antagonist in this is whom? You can see him right here. Dr. Jonathan Crane, the Scarecrow. And I love the way that Kelly draws this character. It's my favorite iteration drawn of the character to this day. My favorite iteration of Batman too, believe it or not. There's something about the Kelly Jones art, that just makes me love Batman even more. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing. Maybe it's because those are the comics I grew up with. But his art alone is a reason to get this book. And then the story about Peterson just enhances it even more. But I'm going to show you guys some art. This story kind of asks the question, what would Batman's life be like if he wasn't Batman? If he was just Bruce Wayne, what would his life be like? And obviously that's influenced by him getting sprayed with fear toxin by Scarecrow. But a lot of those questions come up because a lot of people have said this in the past, and it kind of is part of this story a lot. All the criminals and the rogues and stuff that come up and bubble up in Gotham City are pretty much created because they want to oppose Batman and defeat Batman. So if Batman doesn't exist, there's a theory that these criminals wouldn't exist because they wouldn't really have any competition. They wouldn't have a drive to do anything because there's nobody there to stop them. What they're doing really in part is to best Batman, to get the thrill of Batman's reactions, to get that kind of opposition, like a thrill and a kick off of, like a high almost, off of having an opponent to fight against, right? So this story really explores those themes deeply, and I want to show you guys some art, and you can see for yourselves. I'm going to go through the book itself because the variant cover gallery in this isn't very big. There's only a few pictures, so I want to show you guys some panels from the story, and you can see what I'm talking about, how this really harkens back to 1990s Batman. Even the first image on the inside, I mean, that's my Batman right there. That's the Batman I grew up with, this really menacing, terrifying character. I love that. Such a cool image. I love the huge elongated ears. They're so badass. Kelly Jones Batman is number one for me, by far. Beautiful depiction of the character. And here's his Scarecrow, as I mentioned. Such a menacing version of the character. Terrifying, really. My favorite iteration of Scarecrow as well. Kelly Jones. I love that panel so much. This too. This here is just... look at his face. Very creepy and macabre looking, but I love it. This is hallucination in Batman's mind of a building coming into life to attack him. You can see Batman kind of just there, and the building is really grasping him. It kind of has like a resemblance to Scarecrow, sort of. But Kelly Jones and the way he draws the hallucinations in Batman's head from Scarecrow's fear toxin is just absolutely phenomenal. That's 10 out of 10 art. This is the cover image here. menacing. You can see in some of the art here, it's like Scarecrow's almost like his conscience, sort of, kind of acting like this personality in his head, or this persona in his head that's trying to tell him what to do, kind of influencing the madness, sort of, or his doubts, his fears, so to speak. It's really cool. There's a big part in the story, like, what does the bat symbol mean? What does it actually mean? Kind of like what I mentioned earlier at the beginning. Is this really doing anything for anybody? Are you actually helping Gotham, or destroying it? Then there's a Kelly Jones sketchbook in the bag that has kind of some rough concept drawings, but these two are like unfinished cover drawings. They look amazing. I love this over here. He's in the graveyard. And obviously this one's sweet too, but... Kelly Jones Batman. Numero uno for me, I'll say it again. Amazing design of the character. Yeah, and that pretty much sums it up for Batman Kings of Fear. As I mentioned, guys, those 3 stories with the Kevin Conroy thing that I showed you, and if you haven't read the Nightfall story arc, it's older. It's like 1990s, 1993. Definitely give that a shot. It's an incredible, incredible story. First appearance of Bane. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'll show this one more time before I go because it's so cool. Batman issue 500. This is number 19 from the Nightfall story arc. Signed by Terry Austin, Jim Aparo, and Doug Mensch. This is the variant cover of number 19. First appearance of the blue Asbat suit. Golden. Matt, thanks again, brother. But before I go, I know that this is my Batman birthday bash celebration for my 34th birthday. Remember, Batman Day is on September 21st, 2020 this year. Make sure you guys are going out to the comic book store and getting your Batman comics. Love Batman. Huge inspiration for me. My favorite superhero, my favorite hero of all time in comic books. Also, this weekend, September 19th and September 20th of 2020, I do streams called CinemAsian with CinemAsian 05. Her and I have done 8 so far. The most recent one we did this past weekend was Hero with Jet Li, that movie, and a huge cast. Donnie Yen's in it. A huge cast of amazing Chinese actors are in it. But this weekend, on her channel, Saturday, September 19th, 2020, we are going to be doing an amazing movie with Jackie Chan. One of the first Jackie Chan movies I ever saw, and that's Police Story. Make sure you guys are hitting up Sanne's channel, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 10 o'clock p.m. Euro Time on 9/19/2024. Jackie Chan in Police Story. The following day on my channel, The Hellacious Hero returns. Same time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. Euro Time. We are going to be doing a Stephen Chow movie, Kung Fu Hustle. It's a hilarious movie, but also really, really martial arts inspired, hence the name Kung Fu. I saw this movie in theaters when it first came out. I loved it. It was a great flick. And it was actually inspired by me to do on my channel because of Sanne's Yes Madam stream with those 3 thief characters. Really inspired me to kind of get like a more humorous approach to the streams that we're going to be doing, so I chose Kung Fu Hustle. But remember, guys, read your comics, watch your Kung Fu movies, Read your fantasy novels, your science fiction novels, play your video games, right? Collect your cool statues, watch your anime, read your manga, listen to your metal music super heavy and blast it. And always make sure you guys do you at the end of the day. Follow your passions. Dive deep into it. Don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Right? Be the most learned and wise person that you can possibly be. And it will bring you so much fulfillment and joy and happiness in your life. I promise you that. So, this is Hellacious Hero Joe signing off. Remember, I am the hero you deserve, and I am the hero you need right now. Until next time, my friends.